Hello and welcome to the yearly forecast for 2021. I'm Marga, and this is a forecast for Agents of Evolution, all of you willing and able to stay on your evolutionary edge for the sake of our collective evolution. So the theme for 2021 is Humangineering the Transition. It is an engineering feat that we're going through for the next several years, but particularly in this very tenuous transition moment in the year 2021. But that engineering feat is not dry and cold and technological only. It is very deeply human. We're getting a new kind of template from which to work from socially, collectively, especially in the forms of governance that we set up for ourselves. So within this main theme of humangineering the transition, there are sub-themes, and the first of those sub-themes is new forms of governance and new definitions of authority. So between February of 2021 and September of 2022, we're going to have the planets Saturn and Uranus in a square to each other in our solar system. And what this symbolizes for us on Earth is a kind of revolutionary new style of authority and governance. So we can be sure that governments themselves are going to be going through kind of shakeups and trying new things and very unique, surprising forms of shift and change within how the government structures work. So this is something that's going to be affecting us the world over. But for here in the US, we're definitely going to be experiencing this. I think in January and February, we're going to experience a rather surprising shakeup around governance. The second sub-theme is new forms of warfare, new offensive strategies, and even new weapons that probably involve the internet, or at least some new forms of technology. January 19th and 20th of 2021, we're going to have Mars conjunct Uranus. And on its own, this is not that huge of a thing, but in the mix of everything else that's going on astrologically, this, I think, is going to be a very disruptive sort of thing. So Mars conjunct Uranus, it could be seen as new forms of moving onto the defense or onto the offensive. It could have to do with currencies, in terms of banking and the technological use of offensive strategies in terms of taking out portions of the economy. So that's the scary part. It may or may not be huge. It may be a kind of targeted small segment of the world population that experience this, but as we know, because we're all connected, it will ripple out and have effects rather broadly. So the upside of this is that it could bring huge innovations in terms of ways for us to connect while there are still aspects of social distancing needing to be in place. My sense is that by summer, we will start to experience the freedom in a more real way around having our ability to move about as we wish, or socially engaging with other people as we wish. But I think the first many months of 2021 are still going to be very marked by social distancing and even isolation. That Mars-Uranus conjunction in Aries really represents our irritation, our irritability, our impatience, and even our aggression around wanting to break out of the confines that the authorities have put on us around coronavirus. This Mars and Aries conjunct Uranus energy is very, very willful at the expense of pretty much everything else. So a good thing for January and February to do for each of us is to really look at that urge that's coming up from us to break free and to work with it. Give yourself physical exercise that allows you to uh, blow off some of that steam. Otherwise, it could become rather chaotic for you in your life, in wanting to move forward, even though constraints are still in place. The third sub-theme for 2021 is outrageous explosions of creative energy and reformulation of our sexual identities. We're seeing this with the planet Pluto in sidereal Capricorn and the planets Mars and Venus in sidereal Cancer. What that's representing is a surfacing of the shadow in our human sexuality as it exists right now on our earth, and a real, let's say, purification of that shadow. As we purify or purge our bodies, our emotional lives, or even our collective social space, the purification first brings up the thing that is purifying to be seen, to be released. But first, it surfaces so that our human sexuality can kind of catch up with us to where we're heading. The fourth sub-theme for 2021 is indulging our addictions or brainstorming detox from our addictions with circles of experts. And I think both of these things will be going on in different timelines, in different, you could say, dimensions. It's almost as if there are different dimensions taking place on Earth simultaneously. Some of us are working in one dimension while others are working in a completely other. So you'll likely experience around you some of us moving very deeply into our collective addictions. These addictions might include things like addictions to oil and cars and travel, and addiction to screen time and social media. The upside of this is that from the end of May until the end of July, I think we're going to be seeing circles of experts looking into some of the possible solutions for these addictions and how do we treat this at its root and not just as a kind of a surface, punishment to dissuade people from the addiction, but really treat it at the root. And the fifth sub-theme for 2021 is revisiting self-chosen isolation from mid-September until about mid-November. And I'm seeing this because of Jupiter coming back into sidereal Capricorn for that brief moment. So I think at that point we are seeing the government and people agreeing, okay, we need to be willing to sacrifice certain things for the good of the whole. So we made it through 2020. Congratulations. What a year it has been. I'd like to offer you a few contemplations that you can take with you into the new year to sort of review 2020 in terms of your status as an agent of evolution. So the main social landscape of 2020 has been coronavirus and what that has done for each of our lives, how that has affected us all. So actually write this down. What were the top 3 challenges I faced during lockdown? what were the top 3 challenges I faced around lockdown. And the second contemplation is, what are the top 5 gifts of lockdown? What are the top 5 gifts that lockdown brought me? And then a general contemplation for 2020 is, what did I discover about myself in the year 2020? What I discovered about myself in the year 2020 is, and then the prompt for 2021 is, what I'm excited to discover about myself in the year 2021 is. What I'm personally excited to discover in the year 2021 is what my book is going to look like and be like when it's all finished in August of 2021. So I'm writing a book. The working title is Agents of Evolution. The expected publication date is August of 2021. And I am writing it for Agents of Evolution to help us navigate the many years going forward. 2020 was pretty much a kind of final year, like a moment of complete reset. And 2021 through about 2025 are years of major transition. We are transitioning into something that we will not recognize in the year 2030. Life will be very different by that point. This book, Agents of Evolution, is geared toward those people who are interested in being on those front lines to help create this collective evolution that we are going through right now. Also, toward that goal of helping us all navigate our way through this evolutionary time period, I am offering a course in 2021, and it is a training program for Agents of Evolution. You can go to agentsofevolution.com to find out more about that and sign up. I'd really love to have you. And as always, if you're interested in private sessions, you can go to trans-astro.com and read all about that there. So I'm wishing you a very bright set of days, increasingly brighter and brighter. And take care of yourself, be good to yourself, be kind to yourself and to each other. And I will see you in the new year.